Okay, so a really important thing for you to learn to do is to use this button over here. This is your home screen once you've logged into the Google Chromebook. And this button over here is where all of your apps are stored. There are a few other ones I'd like to point out. This is just to open up a Chrome browser. So this is to browse the internet, to go to any website directly in the internet. You can click open a Chrome browser. This right here is the link to Khan Academy, which we'll get into later on. When you click on that, it will open a Chrome browser and take you automatically to Khan Academy. This one right here is a shortcut to what we're going to do here in a moment. This will create a new document that automatically goes inside of your drive. So this is a very important one when you're creating new documents. If you don't want to go into your drive immediately, the one thing is that once you create a document using this, it will default to being in your regular drive and not necessarily in a folder organized inside of your drive. So I'll show you right now as we create a journal together how you can take and organize it, put it into any folder that you want. Okay, and then over here you have GeoGebra. So this is a link to GeoGebra, which we will use extensively in geometry. You just click that, it will open up a Chrome browser, take you to the GeoGebra website where you can do your work. For right now, I'm going to show you what the screen looks like when you select apps. So if you select apps, you will see that it opens up like this, and you'll have apps in there. Now I have different apps than you do. You can add apps by going to the store. That's this one right here. The store will allow you to shop for different apps, and they have all kinds of things. They have games, they have really good calculators, graphing calculators, and math related stuff. So right now it's preloaded for you with some important things. Right here is a big one. This is called Google Drive. When you click, that's where, when you create things, this is really where things are going to be stored for you. So this is a big one right here, Google Drive. Okay, over here next to it is Google Docs. As you might remember, we could get there from down here in your little dock on the home screen. You could click and be at Google Docs anytime you want. I'm going to go ahead and show you Google Drive first, and then I'm going to show you, my Google Drive has a lot more things stored on it. When you first open your Google Drive, you won't have a lot on it, and then I'll show you how to create a folder, and then I'll show you how to create a document. So when you open up your drive, it'll look something like this. Here's the drive. You won't have all this stuff on it. You don't have all these folders on it. But this is what Drive looks like. Okay, if you hit create, you can create these different things. And right now, I'm just going to create a new folder. And the first thing it wants me to do is name that folder. And so I'm going to name this folder Temporary Geometry Folder. Now you probably wouldn't call it temporary, but you might make yours just called Geometry. Okay, now my folder is in my drive, which is way down here. It's alphabetically listed amongst all my folders. I really want to put it someplace else, so I'm just going to click and drag it, and you'll notice when I hovered over classes that opened up, and then when I hover over geometry, that opens up, and I'm going to just drop it right there inside of the geometry folder. So now here is my temporary geometry folder I've created. You will want to create a folder that you want to call geometry as well. You're going to put everything in that folder. Now what's important is that inside this folder you want to make sure that you're sharing things appropriately. So there's a little button over here that says share folder, and I would encourage you to do this right in the beginning, is share this folder and put in here my name, THO and DAN, until you find my name. Once you find my name, and you can take, click on me here to invite me so that I can see the stuff you're putting in your folder. This is really critical. There's a lot of people who have sent me work and I can't see it because they haven't shared it with me. So here where it says notify people via email, that's fine. You can leave that there. I don't normally need that, but for your first one, that's fine. And hit send. Okay, so now an email will be sent to me that tells me that you have created your geometry folder and that I can see things in it. Okay, I'm going to click done here. And now what are we going to put in the folder? Well, the first thing we're going to put is a document, a create document. So that document, when we create it, it'll open up like this. It looks a lot like Microsoft Word. Up here on the top, it's got the name of it. We want to give this a name, and we're going to call it Geometry Journal, and say OK. Now it has a name. Over here in this folder, you remember that I told you if you started by just clicking on New Document, it's going to be stored right in your main Drive folder. So when you click here, it tells you where it's stored in. And you're going to want to click Organize, and then that would allow you to move it. If you want to move it into a new folder, or if you haven't yet created your new folder, you could create new folder here. Okay? So you would then just select the folder you want to put it in and select Move. Mine's already in the right folder, so I'm going to leave it there. Now, this is my geometry journal, so every day when you have an entry in your geometry journal, you should put the date. So today happens to be, let's see, today is June 3rd, 2014. And then you would, put in your reflections for today. This is where you would enter your reflections. What did you learn and do today? Also, this is the very important part of your effort grade. You need to document every adventure daily. How much did you get done? Where are you at? So you want to put that in here, okay? There is something else I'm going to show you right here. This little button is called Awesome Screenshot. I would encourage you to get an Awesome Screenshot app installed on in your store. You'll remember that you can go into your apps down in the bottom, and you will find Store in there, and you go into the Google Store and you look up Awesome Screenshot, capture and annotate. When you click on that, it allows you to capture a selected part of the page. So you could select and then hit capture. It'll open up a new window. You could add some text in here and say, this is what I did today. Maybe put in an arrow, maybe highlight something or circle something for my effort grade, and then say done. It'll make this little picture for you, which you can then copy. All right, you can just copy that image, and then inside of your journal, I'm going to go back to my journal here, and you can paste it in there. So I have what I've written in there, plus I've got a picture of what I did today. Now, tomorrow when I come in here, I would have to go down to the bottom and I would start June 4th. This, it sounds like a good idea, except for one thing. After a while, when I open up my document, it's going to get all the way down here. I'm going to have to scroll for a long time. So my advice to you is that you always put the latest entry up at the top, so that you are, your older stuff is at the bottom and your newer stuff is at the top. So June 3rd is at the bottom, then June 4th, and when I'm done, I'm going to hit enter and put June 5th up here, and then I'll hit enter a bunch of times. I'll put June 6th up here and enter a bunch of times, and then June 7th up here. And that way I always have my most recent stuff at the top of my journal. Okay, so that would be my advice to you. That's how I would want you to do it. Okay, so that's how you use your journal, and how you would create it. Now notice that whenever you type something in your journal, up here it says the word saving, and then it'll tell you all the changes are saved in your drive. So that just happens automatically as you are typing anything. You don't have to do anything about it. It'll save automatically, and it'll be inside of your drive. Okay, so this was a very important thing for you today to learn, and I think you should be able to create your own journal now. Put your own journal together, and if you need to, you can rewatch this video.